Hello and welcome to another video. So today's cards are mostly rune based and they are quite interesting, so hopefully you guys will enjoy these. So first up, obviously, Class President Hanna. These are all based on the Mysteria cards, which from my knowledge is basically a school where all of these characters go, which is quite interesting. So it's a 5-drop 4/4 gold runecraft card. Obviously at the end of your turn, Put one of the following cards into your hand: Mysterian Missile or Mysterian Circle. If you have played a Mysterian card this turn, put a Mysterian Rite into your hand instead, and we will take a look at the Mysterian cards in a moment. We have the same effect from the Evolve and full stat Evolve effects. I think this is going to be fun and interesting to fit into a Mysterian deck, and just see how things go for that archetype. So I'm not sure how they'll perform overall, but I have good hopes for them. So, of course, next up we have Mysterian Knowledge. So, it's a 1-drop spell. Randomly put one of the following cards into your hand: Mysterian Missile or Mysterian Circle, also a runecraft card. Will be great in pretty much every kind of deck, honestly, just because it generates a card without actually having to take it from your deck. So, this is going to be worthwhile, especially for a 1 play point card in any kind of spell boost deck, maybe in Daria, obviously in Unlimited D-Shift, those sort of decks. I can see Mysterian Knowledge being quite valuable. Then we have Mysterian Missile. So this is one of the cards you do get from the generated cards. I don't believe these are going to be cards on their own. They're only going to be token cards where basically they're generated by the other cards. So 2-drop Mysterian Missile. Spell: deal 3 damage to an enemy follower, deal 1 damage to the enemy leader. I think this has great potential. I mean, it's basically a crimson sorcery that costs 2 and can deal damage to face. When comboed with the legendary we'll look at in a moment, you'll see why this card could be quite good. Then we've got Mysterian Circle, 2-drop, bronze obviously, Mysterian, all the basic stuff for these cards so far. Summon a Clay Golem, give ward to allied Clay Golems, so it's a little bit better than Summon Golem, which is good. I mean, since it's going to rely on a little bit of luck to get these off other cards, I can see why they'd want to boost this a bit. Plus, boosting it a bit to fit with the current card designs is good. Then we have Mysterian Rite, so probably the stronger Mysterian card, just based on its fact that it's a 5-drop to start with. It's whenever you play a Mysterian card, if this card costs 5 play points, change its cost to 3. Deal 3 damage to an enemy and summon a Guardian Golem. So quite valuable, especially if you can get it for 3. Getting 3 damage to an enemy, which will include face, and summon a Guardian Golem is going to be awesome. Especially since, obviously, you're going to be playing this in Mysterian card deck, so you're going to have lots of those. So you should be able to keep playing those out, which will easily make this 3. I actually really think that's going to be good, especially if you are using that 5-drop to pull it, or other Mysterian cards that can pull this card in particular. Then we have Mr. Bertrand, Magic Mentor, 2-drop 2/2 bronze. Last word: if you have played another Mysterian card this turn, randomly put one of the following cards into your hand: Mysterian Missile or Mysterian Circle. So I don't mind this one either. It's another alright card. If you'd played another Mysterian card that turn, randomly put one of the following cards into your hand. The only problem is I don't know why it's worded like that in the last word effect. I mean, the only way to take advantage of this would be to ram it yourself, meaning if your opponent clears it, you're not going to get the advantage of it. Otherwise, yeah, I would have probably just made it, last word. I would have made it if you played a Mysterian card this turn, last word, randomly put one of the following, but don't know. I guess it's to stop something broken. They don't want to end up with something bad, so maybe this card isn't quite as good as I was thinking initially, especially now that I read it like that. But who knows? They've had mistranslations before. It's possible this is one, even though I doubt it if it's written like this. But we'll see. Then we have Pure Annihilation, a 5-drop Haven spell. So not rune, everything else was rune, but now we're finally got something different. Choose an enemy follower, banish it, and all enemy followers of the same name. So a better Acolyte's Light. Pretty much, that's all I can say. Acolyte's Light is a neutral, I guess, and this is Haven specific, so of course it's going to be just a little bit better. And I do like seeing more banish. This is going to absolutely destroy any decks, like anything that summons fairies, puppets. Well, puppets you don't need to worry about because they banish themselves, so I don't know, but I think, obviously this is going to destroy NEP decks, especially in Unlimited, where they're going to probably still be played a little bit. Although, who knows? I don't think this card is bad. I don't think it makes up for the Mize rotating out, but it's probably going to be played if we have enough cards that are the same name. Then we have the big legendary for Rune, a Mysterian Magic Founder, 5-drop 4/4. I don't mind the stat line for this card in particular. Fanfare. Give your leader the following effect. Your spells deal 1 damage, plus 1 damage. Sorry, plus 1 damage. So, every single spell, plus 1 damage. This lasts for the rest of the match. So, like Karabos, play it out, permanent effect, all spells deal plus 1 damage. This is why it will work well with the Mysterian Missile. Getting that 3 damage plus 1 to face obviously will become a 4 damage with 2 to face, which is pretty crazy for a 2-drop. If you want to have an example of a card that does something similar, look at Piercing Rune. Even when that's boosted down to 2, that's only 2 damage to a follower and 2 to face. This one will be 4 to a follower and 2 to face, which is crazy. But who knows, especially if you play multiple of these, it'll be even larger, but I reckon at least one will be way beneficial in a Mysterian deck when it comes to actually playing it. Any more you can get out will just be extra that will boost you up well beyond what you probably need to be at. So I really hope to see a great deck built around this card in particular. Then we have Bunnicorn Nic-nic. I think that's how we pronounce that. This is a token card. I don't believe it's going to be a card on its own. We'll see the one that spawns in a moment. It's a 1-drop 1/1, last word, spell boost the cards in your hand. I suppose added support to things like Daria as well could work out. But when you've got Owl, not much point in running this one in particular for any other reason really. But the advantage is kind of this card. So Mysterian Summon Vayle. So it's a 3-drop 2/2. Whenever you play a Mysterian card, summon a Bunnicorn Nic-nic if there isn't a allied Bunnicorn Nic-nic in play. Geez, that's a mouthful. So you're going to get 1 free summon as long as you've played a Mysteria card. It's kind of a pity they don't have Rush, so you could continually proc their effect for as many Mysterian cards as you can, but I understand that probably be too much for this card, so that kind of works out. But it is nice to see. I don't mind this card overall. I think it's reasonable. I don't know, we haven't really seen any decent cards we want to spell boost outside of existing cards, so I don't know how much value this is actually going to have, but I would love to see it played more. Then we have Ignis's card reveal that he did. They also released this on the Twitter for Shadowverse, so that's not so bad at all. Azi Dahaka, I'm not even sure whether that was pronounced right, but anyway, 10-drop 6/8 Storm. Whenever a allied follower evolves, subtract 1 from the cost of this card, and obviously evolve just Storm. So this one's an interesting one. First comparison, Genesis Dragon. That's probably the most obvious thing that you're going to compare this to. I can't see any other major use outside of Genesis. I mean, honestly, the cost drops, not worth it. Not unless you've got something that can gain more evolves, and I don't see Tortoise being played. Dark Angel Olivia's rotating, and Dragon currently has nothing else that can really regain evolve points. And there was another gold card that evolves your entire board, but that's also rotating, I believe, so that wouldn't make a great combo. So dropping its cost just probably not going to be that effective. At most, you're going to probably get 1 to 2 drops. You're probably not going to get the full 3 just because of the odds of having it in hand to have it drop cost. So, not the best legendary, not the worst. Definitely fills the slot of Genesis, which is fine. I can definitely see this having viability in Ramp Dragon if Ramp Dragon stays the way it is. Other than that, not too much I'd say about that card. And that unfortunately rounds up this video, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. As soon as there's more card reveals, I'll be right onto them. I usually do about 10 at a time, so make sure to stay tuned. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Don't forget I have got the Shadowverse SEA tournament. If you haven't signed up for that, I will leave a link in the description below and you can check it out, and I'll catch you guys next time. See ya.